Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. Richard in the driving seat. I'm Richard, ever shared the MakeCode forum.
I'm Joe at J1 in the MakeCode forum in the not driving seat.
I'm Shannon at Chicago in the MakeCode forum.
And I'm Vivian in Shotgun at Live Drift on the MakeCode forums.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that Shannon and Joey were unspecific about what seats they were occupying.
Yeah, I'm glad that means I get Shotgun. Does anyone want to be in the trunk?
Yeah, I assume Shannon's just like in the back somewhere, and Joey's in that like middle seat, you know?
The jump seat?
I thought I was in the trunk for some reason.
Shannon just took a big bite of food before we went live, so.
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
I mean, you gotta speak now.
All right. Hello, everybody. So we're working on our Metroidvania game. So if you're just joining us, this is a game that was that we wanted to do. We realized we've never done a Metroidvania game on the stream, which seems weird considering how much we like those games and how much people, want to code them. So we're gonna be working on one of those. Let me real quick. I'm just fixing an animation because the hat was bothering me. So I need to just go ahead and flip this all around. But we've got a very, very rough idea for what this game is going to be about. And Shannon, you haven't seen this before, right?
No, I have not.
Okay. So, you play as a skeleton witch who wakes up one day and their family has been turned into robot birds.
There was a reason for this. It was very logical.
I think we should clarify. It's not just her family, right? It's everybody in the world.
It's everyone in the world. Yes. Here is one such robot bird prepared by Joseph. So far we've got a basic platformer, and we've got our main character, and we've got this awesome tile set that Vivian made for a tree. And we've got these doors that don't work yet. So today we're going to start working on more of the Metroidvania side of things. So like trying to get the actual like going between maps, and then maybe also we'll start doing items of some kind. But as I start writing some code, I want you guys to brainstorm more, flesh this story out. Was it like a spell that went wrong? What happened? Why is everyone robot birds?
Yeah. I feel like since we are a witch, maybe we are somehow culpable in this situation.
Ooh. I like the idea that like you were doing something the day before and it there was like a big explosion, but then you looked around and you were like, oh no, it's fine, everything is okay, and then you went to sleep and you wake up the next morning and it's like
Sad. Yeah, but I feel like we need to think of something like robot bird related that we could have been doing.
It's true.
They both have mechanics. Maybe we are a skeleton witch physicist dropping balls on ramps.
It's so hard to find an honest robot bird mechanic these days. They're always trying to overcharge you for this and that.
Richard, you're just used to cheap prices, but cost of living.
I know, you always tell me that's just not how the world works anymore, Richard. Get your head out of the past. But I just remember a simpler time. All right, so I'm just doing another tile set real quick. I probably should have done some of these before stream, but it's cool. So we're just gonna do another tree and another door that we can come out of. And we're going to, put some walls in for the ground. Okay, so what do we want to do? First, we need to go over to our doors. And so right now we have just one door But we have 4 different directions we can go, right? Our world is in a grid, so we can either go up, down, left, or right. So this isn't quite going to cut it. So let's go ahead. We're going to duplicate this a few times. Now, if we head over here, we've got 4 doors. And we're going to, on each of these, put a direction that this door is going to represent. So we're going to go ahead and put like up for one. Kind of look like tombstones. Go right. Go down. And go left.
Shannon, do you want to read it?
No, Vivian, you should do it.
Okay. Incredible suggestion from chat for the plot. The witch got lazy while making potions, and they started using a robot to stir the cauldron, and a bird flew into the robot. Both the bird and the robot fell into the cauldron and formed in an evil robot bird witch that turned everyone into robot birds.
I like
that's it, right? That's
it.
That's the plot.
And the robot bird is the final boss.
Okay, this is good.
Now we just need to come
All
up with a title. Every good story needs a title.
Well, let's leave it. You know, I don't want to hamstring us with a title.
Worst case scenario, we can just use that
more
description from the chat as the title.
Yes, that's definitely worst case.
Who is that by the way? Who did that come from?
From Go Mustangs. Thank you, Go Mustangs. Incredible.
Thank you. All right, so we've got our door. This one's going to move us to the right, so it's going to end up taking our current column and move us over by 1, so over to here. And we're going to come out of this door because, you know, we're coming from the right, and this one will take us back. So to do this, we're going to go into our tile maps category, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drag out a on tile map loaded event. And the reason we want to do this is because right now we have these tiles that have arrows, and you know, maybe you want that in your game, but I don't want it in this game. We want to just see the normal door, and you know, you won't know which direction you're going in necessarily. So to do that, we're going to just go ahead and go into our tile maps category. We're going to drag out a cover all, and we want to cover all of our different various direction tiles with just the normal door. And so what this cover block does is it just covers it with the tile, but it's still there. You still get all of the events and whatnot, which is nice because then we can still reference it in our program, but the player won't see it. So now if I head over there, we'll see that the door is a normal door. Nice, cool. All right, so now we've got that going. Let's go ahead and make it so that we have a an actual like button handler to handle when we're going through this. So I'm going to do the classic press up to go through a door because I think that's pretty good. So let's go into our controller. We're going to go in here and do on up button pressed. And what we want to do now is we want to see if we are over one of these doors. So to do that, we're just going to use an if. We're going to go into scene and then get the tile to left of sprite and change this to be tile to center of the player is, and we want to select our different door directions. So let's go ahead and define all of our cases. And then we will talk about the actual code to move. All right, so up, right, down, left. Okay, so we've already got this load map function over here. And what this does is it tells us if, it lets us load our current tile map. So, you know, we get the world that we have to find, which is up here. So this is just an array of arrays of tile maps. And it gets the column and row and loads it for us. But we need to know where we are currently so that if we go to one that says like go to the right, that means that we are going to, change the column by 1 because column is X, and then load whatever map is there. So we're going to go into variables. We're going to make 2 of them, and they're going to be current column and current row. Okay. And right now we are starting at 0, 0. So we're just going to, well, we'll do it inside of this load map, I think, but we're going to set our current column and current row to be the column and row that we are loading. All right. So now, when we press up button, if we have one of these tiles, then what we want to do is we want to change our current tile or change our current row, and then we want to load the tile map that is in that direction. So to do that, we're going to make a new function, and it's going to be called maybe load map. It's going to take in 2 things. It's going to take in a new column and a new row. All right. And now, inside of this one, we're going to do the checks that we need to do to make sure that we are moving to a valid location. And the other thing that this is going to let us do is, because we have this new column and new row, but we still have our old column and our old row, we can use that information to make sure that we are placing ourselves on the right tile when we load the new map. All right, so first things first, we're going to go into our functions. We're going to call our load map. And for now, we're just going to call it with new column, new row without doing any checks. Now let's go into here and we're going to call this function, maybe load map. And for this, we're going to go into math. We'll do a plus. And sorry, we want that on our row. And then we need our variables for current column and current row. So current column, current row. We're moving up, so that is the current row minus 1. Okay, now we'll do the other one going down, so that's plus 1. Now we're going to do going to the right, which is current column plus 1. And then we have going to the left, which is current column minus 1. All right, so we can test this out right now. Let's walk over to our door. We're going to press up. Well, it loaded the new tile map, but what happened here? Well, so we aren't changing our location. So when you load a new tile map, it's going to load them at this position, right? Because that's where we are when we're pressing the button. If you look, this tile map is 32 by 16. This one over here is 24 by 16. So it's actually smaller. So we're actually loading ourselves like over here, outside the map. And then our character is falling for infinity, just like down, 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 because it's clipping through the walls. But we don't see the camera moving because our camera is locked to be within the tile map. So that's what's currently happening. So we don't want that. We don't want that. I did this on purpose. We want to make sure that we place them on the correct door when we load the new tile map. So the way we can do that is we're going to put in a variable, which is going to be entering door. And we're going to set this to be a tile. So in here, I'm going to say like, okay, if we're going up, then our entering door is going to be the opposite. It's going to be down. Here, we're going right, so we want our entering door to be left. Here we're going down, so we want to go up. And here we have left, so we want to go right. And now what we can do is when we load our new tile map, so over here, we're going to say, is there an entering door? And if there is, we're going to, sorry, I want that in scene. We're going to do place on top of random for the player. And we're going to place them on top of a random tile that is our entering door tile. Do. Up. Look at that.
Incredible.
Perfect.
It works.
All right. Yeah, we've connected our tile maps now. So that's pretty neat. All right. So we got our basic traveling between locations. Now let's get to the other thing that you often have in Metroidvanias. You know, your Metroidvania doesn't technically need to go through things like this. It can just be one continuous scrolling, you know, giant world. That's not what we're doing in this case, but that also totally works. So what we want to do next is we want to make sure that we are have a way to unlock different things. So the way that this is this is usually referred to is gear gating. So the idea is that we're going to have some of these doors that we either can't get to or like can't unlock without getting certain types of gear. And in this case, we're probably not going to be gear. I think what we talked about was we would get different ingredients for spells. And so as you got different spells, they would allow you to do different things. So let's talk about what those things could be. What do you guys think?
Like the ingredients or the abilities?
The abilities. Then we'll do the ingredients.
Oh, okay.
Like I was thinking, like one way to do it would be like if there was like some tumbleweeds in the way or something. You could do like a fire spell.
Oh.
And then like, oh, or you could do a wind spell and then it. Something like that.
You could have an electricity power, and then you could code up a circuit system where things are conductive to power them.
Okay, let's shoot a little lower. Let's aim a little lower for the first one.
There can be a fruit bush, and you have to summon robot fruit bats to eat the fruit, and then you can pass it.
So there's like so much fruit on this bush.
Yeah.
Or
What if it was just like a normal bush, and then we summon a robot goat?
Okay, that was the other idea, was summoning a goat, but then I felt like that was probably a bit too much like sacrificey. So, but if it's just eating the bush, then I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Wind spell could be double jump.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, so double jump's a classic one, right? Because like you just need to like get up to a higher platform. So being able to do double jump or just increasing your jump height are both good options. Okay. So I think we should do a wind spell that's like double jumping. We'll do that one first. And then for the other one, we'll do like a fire spell for letting you launch little fireballs. And we'll add that to the B button. So you'll be able to press B to fire fireballs. You'll be able to double jump. And then we'll look at doing another one, which is just like when you overlap with a thing and you press up probably while you have this goat power, you can summon a robot goat who will eat a bush for you. All right, let's get started. So first one's first. We're going to do double jump. So what should the item be that completes our double jump spell? And who wants to draw it?
It could be a wind flower.
Sounds like Vivian's volunteering.
Okay, now I need to see if that's a real thing or not.
All right. Shannon, would you like to draw something that will give us a fire ability?
Yes. It should be purple?
No, it can be whatever color you want. Actually, make it red. So we're doing monochrome, but we're doing monochrome for like everything's going to be color coded. So if you make it red, we'll make the things that can burn be red also.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Or be like brown. Actually, they'll probably be like brown, and then the red will like burn it up, you know?
Cool.
And Joey, I think you know what you're drawing.
Which one am I drawing? The goat summon?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I assume is a fancy whistle.
What do goats usually like? Do goats like carrots?
It's like everything. It's like their whole deal, you know? All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to start by doing our double jump. And to do that, we're going to make a variable. So I think the easiest way to do this is we're just going to make a variable for each of the items that we have. And just so that they're easy to find, I'm going to name them all the same way. And the first one is going to be has double jump. So by default, we're going to set has double jump to be false. We don't really need to do this, but I'm going to do this so that when I'm testing my code, I can just go ahead and change this to be true. And now I can test has double jump without having to pick up the item. Okay, so we're going to need another variable for double jump. And the way we do that is we are going to make a variable that's called num jumps. And we're going to set our num jumps to be, well, we don't need to set it. It's going to be 0 by default. All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to set our num jumps. We're going to stop doing this is hitting wall bottom. No. We'll still do is hitting wall bottom for the first one because we want to say that if num jumps equals 0 and is hitting wall bottom, or num jumps equals 1, then we're going to do a jump. And when we do a jump, we're also going to change our jump number by 1. Okay, let's do this. Jump, jump, jump. And now I can never jump again. But you saw me do a double jump, right? Jump, jump. That was fun. No jumping ever again. All right, so we need to clear this. We're going to use an on-game update. So let's go ahead and just put this down here. We're going to, inside of this on-game update, we're going to do a if, and we're going to do our is hitting wall bottom. So let me just duplicate that, bring this over here. And I always put the little preview of you guys in the worst place.
Stop it. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah, now you're under the simulator.
Okay, cool.
Okay. They're going to say, if we are hitting the wall bottom, then we are going to set our num jumps to be 0. There is one other thing that we want to do, which is, so right now we can always do it. We're not paying attention to our num jumps, our has double jump variable. So I think actually, yeah, so what we want to do is we want to take our has double jump and put it inside of this somewhere. So we're going to go into logic. We're going to do another and. We're going to put this right here. And we're going to change this to, for the second thing, we're going to put in our has double jump. And now we can double jump again, double jump. And we can also set this to be false. And now we can only single jump. All right, so this is basic. This is our way that we're going to be doing this for like all of our different abilities. We're going to have a variable. We're going to put all of the code that has to do with that variable in like, an if statement. and then we're only going to run it if they have unlocked whatever it is. So this is going to make it really easy for when we, get down the line with our code to make sure that we have everything, working. So let's do our next one. Our next one is going to be has fire spell. And I said this to be false to start. Yes, Vivian.
We had a comment in chat saying, I'm guessing this game is going to take a lot of streams.
Probably less than you think. I mean, I think we've already done a lot of it. So it's going to take a few for sure, but we're not going to finish today. But I think it's going to be like, we could probably be done after 3 if we wanted.
I feel like,
I mean, that is a thing with Metroidvanias is that you can basically keep on adding features as much as you want, right? You can keep on adding different items.
They can go on for a long time.
I feel like
and I'll probably make some tile maps off stream for this, I think. I don't want to spend the entire time doing tile maps,
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Oh, I feel like you love doing multi-stream games, Classic Richard.
Sure. It is classic Richard. Okay. So if you have seen us write things with like shooting before, we often store a variable called like facing left. But the nice thing about character extensions extension is we can actually just use one of these blocks to see which direction we're facing. So I'm going to say if the player is facing left and we have the fire spell, then we're going to launch to the left. Otherwise, we're going to launch to the right. And we're going to go ahead now and create a projectile. There we go. We're doing projectile from MySprite. We're going to set the VY to be 0, and we're going to set the VX to be negative because this is going to the left. Change this to be the player, and we want to make this much smaller. So we'll make it like 6 by 6 because I'm going to be animating it. Well, actually, we'll make it 6 by 4. And so I want to make it so that we have it just like a little fireball. And then we're going to be animating this a bit. So let's go into animation. We're going to do animate projectile. Oh, I got the wrong one. Go away. And let's do our best to make this a nice looking animation. Okay, so we did 6 by 4. I'm going to paste this guy in here and change this up a bit. So I think I'm going to make this like orange in the center. And then like, we'll do like yellow, but orange for the ones that are closer. And the idea is that we're going to just kind of animate these sparks coming out. So we're going to start with that. Then we'll do a duplicate. We'll move this one down, move this one over. And then we'll make a new one appear. We'll do one more where we like move these ones over. So this one's now gone. This one's over here. We have a new one appearing. And yeah, it looks like I'm missing something. Okay, so then when we move over one more right, so we're going to move over one more, and that will be this one. Oh, I see what the problem is. I did an impossible task. All right. So we're going to move this one up here, I think. Move it over like this. And then we want to make the ones that are farther away yellow. Yeah, all right, that's fine. Okay, so Oh, I didn't turn it to true. Turn on loop. I don't like these. All right, we're going to do it the good old-fashioned way then. Goodbye, animation.
It does look pretty close to just a trail effect, but I guess trail effect is too many colors. This is all the colors.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm doing trail effect.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
Well, I'm doing fire effect, actually.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe that's a bit much. Or is it awesome?
Oh.
Oh, I see. It's on each one.
I'm leaning towards awesome.
I definitely like it, but it feels a bit strong. It feels like a final upgrade, like right before the final boss.
I don't know. All right, let's make it faster, and I think it'll look a little bit, chiller. Stop this. Stop it. Stop it. What is happening? Joey, what's happening?
What is happening?
Sorry, Shannon, what's happening?
What are you trying to do?
I'm pressing delete, and this is happening.
It's validating. It's saying it's an invalid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't.
You're pressing delete, it's going to nape to a dash, and then it's saying that's invalid, so return to the previous state, so it's going to 5, and then...
Okay, well, anyway. So let's go ahead. We're going to do this for the other direction, so we'll set this to be 100. We'll just move this fire effect down here. And now we can fire Witch of Destruction.
This is great.
When they stop on a wall, it does look pretty good. When it just like persists for just a moment after.
Yeah, cool. All right, cool. So we got that one going. Now the goat one, we're gonna wait on the goat one. That one's a little bit more complicated. All right, Vivian has given us a pick-upable windflower. And Joey has given us goat whistle, and Shannon has given us a salamander, question mark, question mark. All right, so let's start with the goat whistle. I gotta say, I like the shape of it.
I wasn't sure how many colors, so I gave it the 2 colors.
Goat whistle.
Goat whistle.
I was going off of the ones where they have the little divots in the side, but those are also the goat eyes, so I figured it worked.
All right. Now from Shannon, we have a salamander. Pretty cute. Pretty deadly. All right, now with Vivian, we're going to start with just the normal windflower. Which is how big, Vivian?
8 by 8.
Oh,
How innocent, right?
It's so good.
so innocent. I'd let that flower house sit for me. All right, how big is this other one?
40 by 50.
All right, and now we have their bigger brother, the giant evil wildflower.
this based off of a real wind flower?
I looked it up and it just looks like your typical like flower. So I'm like, okay, it's just a flower.
I like that this
All
one
right.
looks like a fan.
Nice. Okay, so we've got some items to pick up. We've got some challenge. Well, we got at least one challenge to overcome. We should probably do bosses for the other ones too, right? But I don't want this game to be just a normal running gun, so we might do that for one of the bosses, but like you might not have the salamander thing, by the time you get to other ones. So for other ones, you might think of just creative ways to deal with it. So like something in the environment that we could do. But anyway, let's get started. We're going to first do our salamander, I think. So let's go into our tile map. We'll just do it in tile map 2 for now. Go on to the end and we're going to make a tile for this guy. Boop. And we're going to set him up here on his little pedestal. He's king of the hill.
He just likes being tall, seeing the things.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now let's go down to our on tile map loaded. We're going to do a loop. And you know what? Actually, I don't even think we need to do a loop. We're not even gonna do anything in the tile map loaded. Instead, we'll just do an overlaps event. So let's go ahead and go into our on overlaps, the one that you get from scene that has tiles. We're gonna do the salamander. We're gonna leave this as player. And when that happens, we're going to, first off, let me go ahead and change this back to be false. What we're gonna do is we're going to display a success message. And we will, set our variable to be true, and then you'll be able to shoot fireballs. Yeah. So let's do that first. We're going to set our has fire spell to be true. And we want to set this to just be a normal background tile. So we're going to go into scene. We're going to do set tile at location. Going to drag out our location right here. This is where the tile is, and we're going to set it to be our ground. So we'll do the one with the flowers. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Head on over.
It's so big.
No fireballs. Oh yeah, but it doesn't have quite the impact that we desire. So I want to display a little message saying you did it. What should it say? I could just do salamander get. Because you got a salamander.
I got you.
Shannon, do you have any ideas?
Sorry, I was making a smaller salamander. Oh.
Wait, why?
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Wouldn't it look nicer if it was smaller?
Okay, I like it, because then we can use the bigger one, and we'll make a bunch of them, and they'll be the boss.
Okay, check out. Let me post this guy. And
I like that you have to look the salamander in the eye and be like, I'm going to steal your powers. That was very powerful of you.
All right, so we're going to go back into our tile map. We're going to go to our flower tile. And we're going to duplicate it. Go all the way to the end. Edit. Paste in this guy. Should he be on the ground or should he be floating?
I think on the ground, or yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe if you clear out the grass around his feet so that it's just blue. There's dude.
Yeah, cool. Okay, let's go over to our other tile map, which I should open in the first place. We'll put our little guy right there. And we'll head over to our code. We're going to change this to be the little guy. Okay, so let's make our message. To do this, I'm not going to use text bytes or anything. No, I will. All right. We're going to make a function. It's going to be called show text. Yes.
Nice. Solid function.
And I'm going to take in some text. Okay. So what we're going to do inside of here, we're going to go ahead and create our text sprite. So let's go ahead. We'll put in our text. And for the color, we want to do... Yes, Vivian?
No. Sorry. I'm so excited for Shannon's next art.
We'll do pink. I like pink.
Oh, it's this one. Sorry. I just hadn't opened it yet. You didn't call it a palamander. Sorry.
Oh, wait, it said palamander? Yeah. Oh, that wasn't there when I looked. I would have said that, absolutely. Okay. So we're making our text. We also want to make it so that it's relative to camera. So we're going to go into here real quick. We're going to grab our flag block. So this one right here. Change this to be text sprite. Where are you at? There you are. We're going to set their position. So I want this to be like at the top of the screen, probably. So we want it to be centered, so we're going to leave that as 80. And then for Y, we'll do like 20 looks good. We'll do like 20. And then finally, we want to give it a lifespan. So we're going to go ahead and do text sprite lifespan to be like 3 seconds. You need some time to be able to read it. So, and also I think we should probably give it a background. So I'm going to give it the background of, let's actually do white on pink. And let's go ahead and call this function. What's up, Vivian?
Nothing.
Vivian really doesn't want to.
I thought I could distract Richard and be like, "Oh, Richard, will those colors look good? Let's go walk over to the salamander and find out." And he'd walk over. And
Richard, the accessibility on this is pretty low. The pink on the white is kind of hard to read, and the contrast is too low. It's a little hard to read there.
I'm so upset.
Good, but not perfect. We're going to drop this down to 2 seconds. Actually, I want it to be snappy. I'm going to make it 1500, and we're going to correct the spelling error I made. All right, cool. We got a palamander. So now let's go ahead and do the other part of this. So we need to have some sort of tile that we can now destroy with our fire spell. So to do that, we're going to go into our tile map editor, and we're going to make a brown tile that is going to be like, it's going to just look super burnable.
Yeah, if it had a label, it would be like, keep away from fire.
Yeah. What should it look like, though?
Didn't you say a tumbleweed earlier?
Yeah, but then I realized that's really hard to draw that.
Big log? Pile of sticks?
That's a tumbleweed. I believe it. That's
I love it,
sufficient
though.
empty space in there.
No, and I want to have like a bunch of them stacked, you know?
Could be like a wall of leaves, dried leaves,
Hay bales?
hay bales.
Hmm. So when do you want to draw me a tile? I'm just gonna put brown in for now and do the coding. So if someone's willing, please draw me one. Okay, the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna redesign this tile map. So this is kind of a classic thing you do with Metroidvanias, right? Where the way that you teach them how to use the thing that they just got is that you force them to use it. So to do that, we're going to make this tile map a bit wider. I'm gonna fill this in. And we're going to use our brown tile now, like this. Oh, whoops, I chose purple. Like this. So we're putting this in right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to, instead of letting you just, nicely jump back out of here, we're going to put our Palamander down here. And now, when you get him, let me just put some normal grass there. You're going to be like, oh no, I am stuck. What to do? But, once you play around with it a bit, you realize, oh, hey, those tiles are brown. They look different. Let me go ahead and shoot my fireball thing at that. And then you're just gonna blow them up. So yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and fill in our walls, and then we will go try this out. Well, first we'll write the code. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to do another event. We're going to do a on sprite of kind projectile hits wall at location. We're going to put in an if statement, which is going to be if the tile at that location is the wood tile, then we are going to clear it out. So we're going to set the tile at that location to be just sky, and we're going to turn wall off. All right. Now, our hero is going to run on over to the door, climb this terrifying mountain, and oh yes, I encountered a Palamander friend. Now I will never be lonely for the rest of my days. But, woe is me. I cannot return to my home. What am I to do? Let me use my new fire spell, and look at that. And now I can leave and I can go back and do whatever. Cool. Our Metroidvania is becoming Metroidvania. All right. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and do our next one. We want to do our double jump flower. So we're gonna do the same thing basically, and we'll worry about working this guy in later. So we're going to make a tile for this. So let's head over to our tile map. We'll do this one and this one. We'll put it up here because it's high in the sky. Go into my tiles. Duplicate the blue one. Edit. Put our flower there. We'll put our flower up here. We're going to head on over to our other event. Change this to be flower. Change this to be has double jump. Change this to be just the plain sky. And this is going to be wind, flower, get. Okay. So now if I head on up there, wind, flower, get. I can now double jump. Once again, though, this will be a bit better if we actually make it so that you have to use it to get out of the level. You know? So we'll do something similar.
Is anybody else making a brown tile? Don't want mine to be the only option. Oh no.
All right. We're going to need more tiles for this game because what we're going to do now is, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be like, you know, upper, and there's going to be like underground.
Ooh.
Which will be cool.
Yeah, because the ground is full of worms. Worms are cool.
Yep. Worms are cool. They don't get enough credit, you know?
Yeah, yep.
They make plants healthier.
Aeration.
They're
exponential.
Whatever that means.
Means if you cut them in half, they keep going?
Like, okay, is it like you cut them in half? Do both halves
That is not true,
keep
by the
going,
way.
or is it
Don't
just
do
one?
that. Yeah, they do not magically turn into two worms.
Oh.
Most likely they will die, or you will have one worm that's severely injured.
Scratch that, not exponential worms.
Yes. Leave your worms be, guys.
Do worms use capillary action to move? I don't know. I don't really know much about worms.
All right, so we're putting in some more locations. Let's go ahead and fill this in. All right, so now I can go over here. Nope, I left some ground. Oop, I didn't make the hole not a wall. Cool. Also, is this doable? No. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take all this, and move it up one pixel. And we're going to put this over here. And wall this up. And then this comes down by one. Like that. Okay, I think that's doable now. Let's see. I'll pay a quarter if it's not. Up, 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 up. Yes, 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 yes.
Aww.
2 quarters. Cool. All right. So we got some more locations. And what happens if I go over here? Bye.
You fall into the void forever.
We fall into the void. Yeah, so right now our we're kind of we're trying to load a tile map that doesn't exist, right?
Mhm.
So we need to put this in a location where it actually has all of those. So we're actually going to move this over by one. Move this one right here. Come back, guy. And now we have a space that we can put more tile maps in. We're going to change this to be 1, 0 for our start. Cool. And now we can go over. There just won't be a tile map, so we'll be in the infinite abyss. Yay. All right. Well, we're out of time for today. So I'm going to probably go and fill in some tile maps before I stream this next. But we did a lot today. We got all the basic Metroidvania stuff, and it didn't take that long. I think that it's shown that this isn't a super complicated thing. Anyway, I'm Richard, at Richard on the MakeCode forum.
I'm Joey, at J1 on the MakeCode forum. I had to press my button.
I'm Shannon, at Shannon on the MakeCode forum.
And I'm Vivian, at Live Cheerful on the MakeCode forums.
And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye.